Hey, it's Carrie from Wrap Your Head Around Silks. This is the Expecting Aerialist podcast, now with the Digitent Network. How's it going, guys? Thanks so much for tuning in. Before we get started, I am so excited to announce that I will be partnering with Sweet Retreats and host an intermediate aerial dance workshop intensive June 21st through the 28th of 2025. I am so excited. 7 days of aerial and flow and camaraderie and jacuzzis and pools and jumping in the ocean and so much fun. I would love for you guys to join me. I've got plenty of students in the 2 cities that I've worked in, but then outside of that, I would love to meet you. So early bird starts December 1st, and I will keep you guys abreast of all of the details. We have Roll It Out every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific. We hit the mat with balls and foam rollers. We gossip, we laugh, and we maintain our aerial muscles. I am out of chronic pain because of this 2-hour blocks in the week. And I really want to get to know you guys and then really help you be healthier aerialists. We have a comprehensive course. It will give confidence to those who train on their own, or if you have spotty access to instructors where you live. It is a comprehensive beginner to intermediate silks course, 12 modules. I made it for you guys. I hope you join me there. And then, of course, aerial rehab for the postpartum, post-injury aerialist. If you need to get back in the studio, but you need steps to get there, it's meant to be the bridge between PT and your favorite aerial class. Well, hello. Sorry I'm late.
That's okay.
I'm having a little bit of a... Oh, you're an ASL interpreter?
I am. I know. I usually use Zoom for work.
Oh my God. I want to hear all about that too. But I'm going to have a transition here because we just found, because obviously, I just moved here.
Yeah.
And my kid missed the cutoff for kindergarten by a month and a half because her birthday's coming up like in 2 weeks.
Oh, is she 4?
She's 4 and she's almost 5, but of course.
Tomorrow maybe I have to go to kindergarten.
Yeah, so we're gonna send her to Montessori and do a private school for a year.
Good.
Yeah, and we just found it, and so she's gonna start going 8:30 to 11:30 every day, 5 days a week. But as you know, I'm sure already, I work at night.
Yeah.
So I might, and her papa's home with her at night, and she's going to be sleeping by the time I get home. But when am I sleeping? Exactly. I was thinking about that today.
And also I have to wake up in my own bed
Yeah, you want to sleep in your bed tomorrow. Yeah, I was thinking about that today. I was like, when am I going to sleep? Exactly. I don't know. It's a good question, right?
Well, you're not, what are you working overnights?
No, but I get home at 11:45 p.m. because I teach 8:15 class, and that's when I do my training after class. And then I live on the far west side. So 35 minutes later, I'm at home, and then I'm awake.
I see.
So I think, I need that 2.5 hours to work, but I think I might nap sometimes because when am I supposed to sleep?
Right. Yeah, no, sleep
This is the problem.
essential.
It's essential. So, listeners, I'm very happy to be here in Texas and be buying very comparatively cheap groceries here.
Yeah. Oh my
But
God.
also-
Yes.
Yes, but also I'm meeting some new to me aerialists and aerial students and aerial hobbyists, and there are aerial mamas everywhere. We're everywhere. So, Alana or Elena?
Alana.
Alana is part of my new community. I'm joining her community. How long have you been taking from Dara?
So I started before Dara was an instructor here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I started in 2016. We used to have a studio called Aerial Horizon, and it had 3 different locations when I was a student there. So I've been on and off since 2016. Through that, on and off, because when I was a younger aerialist, I tore my serratus anterior. So I had to take time off for that. And then,
What?
yes,
No, that's a bad injury.
it was not super fun, but I learned how to, find the smaller muscles instead of like brute force strengthening myself through things with the bigger ones only. I mean, that's what happened. So, I was off for that.
Okay.
And then I had, a pregnancy and a C-section and then COVID and then another pregnancy. So, on and off because of all of those things.
I only learned this because I'm staring at your Zoom and it says ASL interpreter. How long have you been doing that?
Oh God, a long time. Yeah. I mean, 2008, I'd say. And then I ended up becoming the director of operations of a couple of large interpreting agencies, one actually out of LA. So I was in LA and I was the director of operations for an interpreting agency there. And then I had an opportunity to be in San Antonio again and be a director of operations for an interpreting agency here. And I really enjoyed doing that part, running the business and doing bids and PR and networking and all of that stuff. And, of course, COVID and everything happened. So I'm back to doing hands-up interpreting. I mostly do government work, and then I'm also now doing tech for like a specific deaf person who works for a tech company. So I'm like on their designated core team of interpreters.
And so obviously you didn't need to learn American Sign Language for your own disability because you are not, I'm assuming.
Right.
So how did you get into this? I'm assuming that you were know as much ASL as anybody who needs it for a disability.
So I grew up in New York. I'm from the city and then grew up upstate in Rochester. And that is one of the top 2 biggest deaf per capita cities in the United States. So I ended up kind of just falling into learning ASL in the community as a teenager. And then I went on, kind of long story short, to get 4 degrees in interpreting. And I taught interpreting when I lived in Miami at Miami-Dade College. And I ran 2.5 years worth of professional development interpreting workshops down there. I worked and lived in the DMV area for a little while. That is the other largest city with deaf people. And so, I just kind of entrenched myself in the community, learned, and then, got a million degrees and started interpreting and did everything else in that kind of field and profession. And now I'm just doing right now video remote because I also have a 10-month-old. And so we are still breastfeeding. I never pump ever. I literally just am putting her to the breast throughout the day. And I'm super fortunate to be able to do that. So.
Okay, back up. How do you have time to have a full-time job, get 4 degrees, have a 5-year-old, have a 10-month-old, and then have a thriving aerial practice? Exactly.
Yeah, well,
That's what I'm wondering.
So I went to school before I had children. So
Okay.
yeah, so I graduated with the first 2 degrees in 2007, 2008. I moved back up to Rochester. I worked as a staff interpreter at RIT, Rochester Institute of Technology, while I did my bachelor's in 1 year. Was invited to move to Miami and did my master's. I don't remember if I graduated in 2012, 13, 12, maybe, with my master's degree. I did it very fast. So that was also in a year I got my master's. And I was in Miami at the time and I didn't have a family. So I basically spent the entirety of Saturday and Sundays sitting and just doing homework and all of that stuff. I don't know how people with children do it. But I didn't have a family at that time. So I was hustling, working during the week, and then also just doing my stuff on the weekend for school. And I was dancing, I was a professional ballerina, but I wasn't doing aerials at that time.
Okay, so here's my other selfish question. Out of the cities that you've lived in,
Yes.
how does San Antonio rank for you? And do you plan to stay here? Is this your home?
such a good question, right? So I've lived in New York, Rochester, Miami. I had a house in Tampa. I lived there for 2 weeks, but then I got that job in LA. So I moved to LA, Maryland, Miami. Did I say Miami? Anyway, I like them all for different reasons. I came back here because my parents are here and I wanted to be by them when I had children, which ended up being so important for me. So I separated from my first husband when my oldest was 4 months old. And we got divorced when she was 9 months old. And so like having my parents here ended up being like a lifesaver for me.
Wow, you guys separated at her...
She was 4 months.
4 months?
Yeah.
That is so stressful.
It was a hard time. Yeah, really challenging.
Wow, okay.
But so how does it rank? Would I be here if not for my parents? Probably not. I loved Miami weather. That's like totally my vibe. 85 morning to night, like never changes. I liked LA because I'm a vegetarian. Everybody gets it. You don't have to like explain anything. I'm also Israeli, lots of Israelis in Los Angeles and Miami. So like here it's a little different, right? But as you mentioned, cost of living, you cannot beat, right? So we actually just last year built a multi-generational house here.
Oh.
Right. So we have this like beautiful home with my parents' wing. We have a suite downstairs for my mother-in-law. I mean, we couldn't have done this anywhere else,
Right.
So,
right. That's amazing.
Right. So like I'm very fortunate and the weather here is great. I don't like that it gets cold, but people would complain that it's not really cold, right? So, or they would argue rather. But yeah, I mean, we're going to be here. This is going to be it for a while. It's strange being a New Yorker saying I live in Texas now, but it's great having my parents and my mother-in-law help with the children, and it makes all the difference,
Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, not to put down the state because it's giving me what I want, but I compare it to like, when you're dating and there's like the really like sexy dude with the abs and the muscles.
Right.
And then just doesn't meet any of your needs.
Right.
That's LA.
Right.
That's what LA became for me.
Totally.
And then Texas, on the other hand, you're still pretty. Your sunsets are amazing, by the way, Texas. But none of those bells and whistles. But at this point in my life, especially because the Arium exists, like his job could have gone to Corpus Christi. And Corpus Christi, Texas, besides having hurricanes, they have 0 aerial studios that are already there. So I would have to build it from the ground up, which I don't have the money for right now.
That's a lot.
I might have the time and the skill set, but I don't have the capital. So, as they said, go get what you need, not what you want necessarily. And it's actually becoming what I want. I mean, it's like, it helps that we're here towards the end of the summer because I can like just ease into it.
Yes.
Like if we moved here in June, I'd be like, what do we do? But like, I can handle this. It's like totally beautiful right now. And, Halloween's right around the corner.
No, I mean,
the holidays.
It's what's cool about it is that it's a big city, but it has a small city feel, right? It's not like LA traffic, Miami traffic. Yeah. You don't have the cost of living, but it's a big city that has everything you need. So like, I think that's the benefit.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's pivot to your experience as an aerial mom. So, is there a big challenge to it? Is it like carving out the time to be in class? Like, how often are you in the studio?
So it's harder with 2 for sure. I go once a week. I'm like very committed, never miss class.
And what is that class that you go to? Like, what level are you at?
I don't even know what level I'm at right now. I'm still coming back postpartum right now. I think I'm in like beginner 2. It's not my regular class. So
okay, got it.
I don't know. Beginner 2, maybe?
Okay, and you feel good in that class?
I feel good. Yeah. I think she said I can move to Wednesdays. I just need to like change our whole life schedule, but I like, before I had kids, I was extraordinarily strong. I would go 3 days a week. I took silks and I took Lyra and I took straps, which I absolutely love. And I could drop into class and things like that. That doesn't happen anymore. When you have two, you're just asking people for help all the time. Right. And I still want to dance and things like that. So, yeah, once a week is what's happening for me. We have this play set in the back. A rig is out of reach right now financially. We built this house, we had a wedding and did IVF all at the same time last year. So it was a little bit.
Oh, that is expensive.
A little bit of a financial burden.
Yeah.
What I did is I bought these like travel straps. So they're really short and I'm planning on just like rigging them on the play set just to like do something here when I can.
Yes.
So I'm excited about that. And yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
Okay. So how is coming back when it comes to your body? What does it feel like coming back this time versus the first time?
So it's totally different. So first time I had a C-section and it was really hard for me. It was actually a scheduled C-section. She was frank breech, and I blamed myself for that for a long time because I did aerials for a long time when I was pregnant. I was like, oh God, she's upside down because I was upside down and all this stuff. And who knows what really happened, right? But she was frank breech, and my doctor was like, I can do it. Like, I can deliver her, but it's safer for everybody to do the C-section, which not my favorite, right? And I feel like I had a harder time than a lot of other people who have C-sections. Like recovery for me was long. I did not return to aerials for 9 months. And when I did, it was really hard, like so hard. I just think I didn't do enough core preparation to like lead up to my return. Yeah. And then COVID happened. So, cause she was born February 1st, 2019. And so then 9 months later, I go back and I'm like just getting back into shape. And then it's March and it's COVID and the studio shut down and like all of that.
Oh, yeah.
It was hard, but then I felt like
when you say, when you say frank breech, does that mean feet down and also facing your back? Is that what you mean?
It means she's folded in half with her feet by her head. So it's actually like the only, it's like the only recommended position to deliver vaginally if you want to, like breech wise, because their neck is protected by their legs. But I was just, you do what you do with the information you have at the time. And we did the
She's in a forward fold in there.
Exactly.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes. She came out perfect, it happened very fast, surgery, all that stuff, but like was not my fave. So it was kind of compounded by the whole, now it's COVID, you're still trying to get back into shape, whatever. But I did, I was okay. I don't think I was quite as strong as I was prior to that. But I had a good long time in there to get back. And I felt pretty good about it. Like I was able to do a VBAC with my second, which was amazing. So I had a vaginal birth after C-section. I got a chance to experience labor. I had like never experienced labor. I thought it was really cool. And this recovery was it was different, definitely went back faster. I want to say I did a lot of like pelvic floor therapy. We have some really good people locally for that. And then I, started doing like core workouts and things like that, leading up to going back to aerials. And I went back maybe 4 months postpartum. So I'm just now starting to like, invert again with straight legs, feeling much stronger, but definitely still have weakness, like pelvic floor area and like deep core.
Did you have a medicated or unmedicated vaginal birth?
It ended up being medicated.
Okay, and you didn't necessarily want that, but it happened that way.
I mean, for me, I just wanted a vaginal birth. So,
Okay, got it.
yeah, I was like, if it's unmedicated, cool, and like I went in there, like, but all the stars kind of didn't align. And I ended up getting a doula last minute for free. I mean, it was kind of cool, but I ended up going a little early and I had to labor all night. And then when she checked me after a million hours, I was still only 4 centimeters. And I was doing the thing, but I got to be honest, I'm really not a primal person. And I'm like in the hospital moaning and screaming, with the doula. And I just was like staring at this screw in the hospital bed and like moaning. And I was like, what the F am I doing? I'm like, this is ridiculous. I'm like, I'm sure the people in the room next door are like totally like, what is this lady doing? Like, I just was like, this is not me. I was like, I don't want to do this. This is stupid. I feel stupid. I'm uncomfortable. Like, let's end this. Right. So like, and it was several hours later. Like I did not deliver for like, I don't know, what was it? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like 7, 8 more hours. So the epidural was really great. Super happy about it. And then because after I delivered, my doctor reached up in there to check the scar from my C-section on the inside. Oh my God. If I had to do that, no, thank you. Like I felt nothing and was very happy about that.
Oh my God. Well, you know what? Obviously, I interview women that are completely from A to Z on the spectrum on this. And I am the type that give me the drugs. That is me. But there are so many women that have the most amazing experience unmedicated.
Totally.
It's like totally so many different experiences. But this is a great story for my listeners because I think it's important for everybody to hear like that it's whatever you want, that is okay,
Totally. And it all, you just can't know what's going to happen. Right. And I didn't have a fancy birth plan. My birth plan was like, I would like a vaginal birth. I don't want another C-section. And my doctor it was actually hard to find a doctor here who would do that. Not a lot of people in Texas do. They call them TOLACs, right? Trial.
TOLAC, trial. Yes, mm-hmm. yes.
So I found somebody. She was fantastic. Everything went exactly as it needed to go. Honestly, like the baby. First of all, so I stopped doing aerials much earlier because I was like, this baby's gonna have her head down, and I'm not going upside down anymore. So like it was like early 20s, 22 weeks or something that I stopped doing aerials altogether because I was like, I'm not flipping upside down. I'm going to do all of the spinning babies. I'm going to be in a squat for the rest of this pregnancy. Like that's what I did. Mm-hmm. I was like, my hips are going to be as open as they've ever been. And this baby's going to be head down. And she was. And all throughout labor, she was fantastic. No like threats of like, oh my God, we have to go do a C-section. So it was really, everything worked out exactly the way it needed to. And I had a vaginal birth and it was amazing. So yes, plans, no plans, we did it. And I'm super proud of myself.
Yes.
So.
Yes. And then how does a straddle inversion, how did it feel when you tried to start doing it? Like, what did that disconnection feel like?
It's very much coordination, right? And strength, but not only strength. So obviously like deep core was not ready and I had no expectations for myself. But once I was able to re-lock in kind of like the angle of like shoulders, hips, legs, like coordinating it helped so much. But definitely struggle bus, started out bent legs, just off of the floor, like would not go in the air to do it. And still in the air, I don't think I'm doing straight legs. I'm definitely doing bent legs up in the air right now.
Like a bent to straight, like développé straddle.
Yes.
Yeah, I get it.
But I think
whenever I'm unsure, I do the same. Like if I'm not 100% sure in the moment that my legs are going to go straight the whole time, I go a big bend to a big straight.
But honestly, if I'm splitting fabrics and going through the middle, I can do straight leg because I can give a little swing, and momentum. I can do straight legs in the air through the middle, but not if I'm doing like Same side knee hook, opposite side knee hook, anything like that, and definitely bending legs to go up.
Okay. Yeah, this is good information for the listeners. So you're 10 months out. So of your second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. And for me, it was a long time that my abs felt like a kind of like a vast empty cavity of space. Like I'm sure that's not the case, but it felt that way either because the engagement was like glitching, or because the compression wasn't there.
Right.
Like the muscles were not compressed together. They were just kind of swimming around. I don't know.
Did you have separation at all?
I did. And then the end of the separation kind of was like, I felt, like it came back together, but I have major gut issues that are oddly kind of going away here in Texas.
Okay.
And I don't have any explanation for it besides that my stress levels are lower.
That's good.
I mean, I kind of like one of those things where don't question it, whatever.
Right.
Right. So my stress levels are lower here. So even though I sewed up the DR, I was having severe bloating, and I was like, is this perimenopause? I started taking all these like supplements because I'm at that age where it could be.
Do they have to stitch it?
No. I through PT.
Okay.
Yeah, I just exercise. But I felt like my belly button come together over time. And so then because I had all this random bloating for the last couple years, my skin and all of everything didn't like sew back together efficiently because I was bloating. So my body was like, oh, there's all this more space for gas. So I'm just going to be bigger.
Oh my God.
I know, like I have a lot of gut issues, but anyways, I came here to Texas and I cannot tell you because I don't understand it. My gut issues, and I've not changed my diet. I still eat like trash some of the time. Most of the time I don't. But like the times that I like cheat or like have soda or my, red wine that I love so much, or go have Tex-Mex with a bunch of beans, like I'm still better. I don't get it. I have no idea. Do you have any theories on this?
No, I mean, I do understand the stress level thing. I definitely, when I have anxiety, have issues with my stomach. So, and it's just from anxiety.
Yeah. I mean, the move was really stressful. Everything was stressful. And, I don't know. I can't explain it, but, yeah. So that's sewing back together, which is great. What advice would you have for arrow mamas out there, maybe after their second? Think about what you do. Like you have a full-time job. You have two kids, 5 and under. What would you say to those women out there?
Give yourself grace, time. Don't compare yourself to other people. Don't compare yourself to people on social media. That's very hard. Very, very hard. Don't even compare yourself to yourself pre-child or children. Just applaud yourself for getting to class and showing up and being there and doing the thing, or just trying the thing. I mean, I gave myself 0 expectations after my second, and I just showed up and I said, this is my workout. If I can't do what we're doing in class, it doesn't matter because I'm trying, and that's using my muscles, and that's my workout, and that's it. And it wasn't as though I didn't compare myself. It was very hard. I mean, there's somebody on Instagram, I'm sure you know who they are. She had her second, I think. She's probably 15 years younger than I am. First of all, I'm an old mom. So
How old are you?
I'm 41.
Okay.
So had my first at 35 and my second at 40 through IVF, my second one. So definitely like not a young person. And it's harder, to recover and lose weight and all of that when you're older, right? I mean, I'm not that old, but I'm certainly old to have babies, right? So, she had her second, I think, and like 2.5 weeks after, she's like partnering, trapeze, like in splits and stuff. And I just remember my vagina, like, no, like apps. I did not stretch my groin, my hamstrings for months. Like, no, thank you. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I don't recover as well as other people, but like that was definitely not, and I felt some way about it. I was definitely like, wow.
And that was just somebody that you saw online?
Yeah, it's the duo trapeze folks who are fantastic.
Yes. Okay. My question is though, but what you're saying is that comparison was with somebody who does aerial for that's their money, right?
That's true. But I do consider myself an athlete. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Like
but it's a different thing because there's so much pressure to get back in the air when it's your money, though. That's the problem.
That makes sense. It makes sense. I just like physically could not have done. There's no way, yes. and you're right. But still, like, comparisons are not good, right? Your body is
and they're also not rational necessarily. They're not 100% rational. You're just looking at something and it's provoking a feeling.
Right.
Yeah.
I think patience, grace, and like high-fiving yourself that you like went to class is enough at the beginning, and as long as you need it to be. Like, I think that's the biggest thing.
I think that what I call like advanced hobbyists like yourself who are really good at, depending on where in your practice, what year in your practice, but that's not where your money comes from, right?
Right.
And then there's professionals who that is where their money comes from. And there's just such different pressures that the women place on themselves. Like, for example, if it is somebody like Sophie Duo-Rose,
right.
She's thinking to herself, fuck, if I don't, like, I have a contract 10 weeks after this baby comes out.
Right.
And if I don't do that, what are we as a couple? And then also their money is tied up in the husband's money too.
Right.
Because it's, right? But then you have the people in the category of you who, like, you get your money elsewhere. And the stressor can be a couple things from my experience of talking to people. Like, it can be, what if I don't do this at all again? Not because I don't want to, but because the other priorities in my life, I have to be an adult.
Right.
Like, what if I cannot carve the time out for it, and it would be almost selfish to do so? And not to say that it would be, but that's the thought that goes through people's minds.
Totally.
I think.
Yes.
So way different stresses, and then overall, you just got a bunch of women kind of being hard on themselves.
Yes.
And who are also badasses. So, but I think it's important to talk about because regardless of if it's just somebody being hard on themselves, it still feels real. It still triggers emotions. And it's part of the reason why we're so motivated to do the crazy things that we do. Not crazy, air quotes crazy, in comparison to muggles, as I say.
Sure.
So yeah, I think it's hard either way. And somebody like you and many of the other people that I've talked to, they have this squish in their arms. They have their second squish. They want to go back to class. They're already taking maternity leave to take off from their work, and they have to catch up there at work. That's hard.
It is. And like, I also, I'm like, again, like so fortunate that I have so much help. You know what I mean? And like a lot of other people don't have that. And so like, I know that I'm lucky, that I'm able to just go to class every week.
I am deeply, deeply envious, Alana, of you.
I don't know how parents do it.
And all the other ones that I see where I go to Chick-fil-A and I'm like on my laptop and she's like, in the wild animal park of the play place there. And like all these grandparents are sitting there with, and I'm like, okay, the parents are at work right now.
Right.
And the grandparents are sitting there. I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
Deep jealousy, deep green envy. But also, it takes a certain amount of patience to live with your in-laws and your own parents.
Seriously. That's true. I mean, it's been a struggle, but also like, I'm so grateful. I mean, that's why I moved back because I knew I wanted help with my kids. I knew it. Like yeah. I wanted to be independent. I wanted to be able to dance. I wanted to be able to do whatever I wanted, including aerials. And, you know, I didn't want people to be like, sorry, you can't do that because you have to take care of the kids. Like, that's just me. Like, I like my independence, you know?
Not in the same situation because I don't live with either of my mother-in-law or my own mother, but my own mother knows how to push my button like no one else in this world. Like no one else in this entire universe. Like if there's 18 million buttons, she knows the one button that will send me right over the cliff. I'm telling you, like, yes, your knows how to push my one button, whatever that button is that day.
I'm not going to tell you that. I'm going to tell my
Really?
grandma what game.
I mean, but then I think to myself, is there going to be a day where my bean doesn't like me anymore and it makes me want to die?
Oh God. My 5-year-old is already a 15-year-old. We're already,
mine too.
Yeah, it's been a lot. She's a firecracker for sure. But like, you know, I've always been very close with my parents. And so I'm super lucky in that. I do think that since we've been living together, we do have different spaces, but we see them every day. But I've learned a lot about why I am the way I am because I'm seeing a lot of things in them that are definitely like, ooh, you know what I mean? Like, okay, like this is why I do this and I don't want to do this anymore, you know? And so I'm growing a lot as a person because of that. In addition, obviously, you know, to be as like being a mom, you grow a lot too.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I mean,
I want to tell her something.
okay, come over here before I put you in your room and close the door. So this bean said the other day, she was just whispering, like singing to herself. She goes, go shorty, it's your birthday. I was like, wait. So I pull up on Spotify in the club, right? Because that's my song, right? From back in the day. And I play it and she gets mad at me. She's like, that's not the song. So then we find the song she's talking about. And some YouTube girl sampled.
Don't talk about her.
Nastya.
Don't talk.
Okay, chill. Sampled it. And you know how in Narnia, the lion says, don't quote the deep magic to me. I was there when it was written. That's what I wanted to say to my daughter. I was like, no. That is a cheap imitation of the original. Alana, I really like look forward to like getting to know you.
I know. I honestly, I wish I was able to take more classes, you know, so I could like come and hang out and we got to get the kids together.
My friends, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you so much. If you'd like to be in the podcast, just send me a DM or email me, Carrie at wrapyourheadaroundsilks.com. This is for you guys. It's for the worldwide community. So if you have a story that you'd love to share, please reach out. I'd love to have you as a virtual student. So if you go to the show notes, there's links for all of my online resources, free mini course, comprehensive beginner to intermediate, and aero rehab as well. I'd love to have you guys there. And check out Greener Grass. It's the podcast that I do with Kelly McVeigh. And we talk about so many things that you might care about. And then we also just gab. We have so much fun. Please leave me a 5-star rating and review. It makes such a huge difference. So I would appreciate that with all of my heart. And thank you so much for tuning in and listening. Over and out. This is Carrie with Rock Your Head Around Silks. This is the Expecting Podcast.